Hello everyone, this is Snowball giving you another Snowcast, and this is game number 5 of FXO Moonglade against Liquid Huk, playing under the alias Trader. Now, we are playing on Shakur's Plateau, which for the most part is a nice big map that everyone tends to like on the ladder. This and Zelnaga Caverns are the two maps that people tend to favor the most when they're actually playing games. So this map usually brings out some pretty big epic games going on, especially if they are in the diagonal cross positions, which they are not. So we do see a horizontal position map, which it looks like Moonglade is going to scout in the right direction. Huk lays his pylon down at 9 and sends his traditional 9 probe scout out. So he will do an early scout, try and figure out where Moonglade is. Moonglade's Overlord is making his way toward the base of Liquid Huk, so he will be able to scout it out in time, and then we'll see what he does from there. He may just go in, pop in just to see that Huk is there, because by the time his Overlord gets there, the Cybernetics core should be about halfway done. So we'll see what's going to happen there, because he won't get much time in which the Stalker will not be able to kill him. So he'll probably just pop in, see that his opponent is there, maybe bring his Overlord up so that he can check out the Cybernetics core up here, and then just kind of float it on back to look for an expansion. So we'll have to see what he does with his Overlord. And it looks like we have a spawning pool going down first, so we will not see early speedling pressure by Moonglade. He is going to drop the spawning pool first, probably go for an expansion after that, if it was my guess. So Huk thinks the same thing too, so he's actually going to go down and just guard against the expansion, taking some minerals, 5 less minerals from your expansion. Not a big deal, but hey, every little bit counts, right? So we've got the drone coming up from Moonglade. He is scouting the gateway. Oh, the gateway's almost done by the time the Overlord got there. I totally didn't estimate that time correctly. So looks like the gateway is going to be just about done by the time the Overlord gets up to the gateway. So he'll be able to see if Huk is looking for a fast expansion build, or if he's just going to drop a 1-gate Cybernetics core. Trader's doing a good job of harassing this drone. The drone is doing an epic amount of work trying to get the Cybernetics core to not be built, and it looks like we actually do not have the Cybernetics core. There it goes down. Usually people drop that as soon as they get their gateway done, but the Zealot was almost done by the time the Cybernetics core got dropped. So it looks like Moonglade did stop the Cybernetics core from going out for quite some time. And it looks like a probe coming out. We got 4 Zerglings trying to find the probe. Nice juke by Huk. Thought he was just going to go back to the base to hit the probe, but it looks like he's going to set a scout up here. Faked out the Zerglings. So a proxy pylon is going to go down right here, I imagine, soon enough. He's got the Cybernetics core done and a Chrono Boost on both the Sentry and the Warp Gate technology. Moonglade is nibbling at the gateways with his 4 Zerglings. Not really much Huk to do right now until that Sentry comes out, so a Chrono Boost on that is going to take care of it. He did not build a proxy pylon yet, but Huk can see the expansion going down, and he'll get a free scout into the base. The Queen is going to not like that very much, so she's going to look for the probe, but instead drops a creep tumor. Second Queen coming out, so he's got his 2 queens and a creep tumor to connect in between the bases in case any airplay does come into effect, which it looks like we're not seeing any right now. We're just seeing Warp Gate research being Chrono Boosted amazingly quickly. So I would not be surprised if... Oh, these Zerglings do catch the probe off guard. We do not have Metabolic Boost going down yet, so I wonder what Moonglade is going to do with his gas, if he's going to build a Roach Warren and use roaches or something else. Oh, there goes Metabolic Boost, so he did just get the gas, and now he's just started Metabolic Boost. So we will see some speedlings coming down. The Nexus does get dropped down, and it looks like Moonglade is going to be able to scout this, so he knows that there's no aggression going on early on. We should just be seeing drones made for the next minute or two, at least for a couple minutes, because there will be no way that Huk can put out a lot of aggression on just a 3-gate Sentry fast expand build. And here comes the 4th gateway, so we do have a few more Sentries coming down. Sentries are here to just build up their energy over time, and by the time that he'll actually need to use the Sentries, they'll have multiple force fields, probably about 3 apiece. So you really don't need to build any more sentries for the rest of the game as long as you can keep your sentries alive. That's pretty much the goal with this build. Get the expansion down, keep the sentries alive. The two main goals right there. Obviously he's making a wall up right here so that there's a nice little choke so that there can't be much production going in. We do see a Roach Warren going down by Moonglade, so we will see some Zergling Roach mix coming down. He has not even considered getting the layer tech yet. A few Spine Crawlers in the front, playing extremely defensively. I think this is a bit too defensive. I mean, I know he does have the 3 gates going down. The Nexus just got done, but I don't think he needs all of those Spine Crawlers just quite yet. So we'll have to see how that plays out for him. But more sentries coming down, an amazing amount of sentries. We've got 10 sentries. This pretty much negates all forms of Zergling harassment on the sentries. As you may have seen in earlier games, Huk lays some amazing force fields that pretty much stops every Zergling, and any type of Zergling harass that you want to do is thwarted by these sentries. So he's not really able to do anything with Zerglings. The Roaches have a range of 4, which is better, but the sentries have a longer range. They have their range of 5, so they can actually attack the Roaches while the Roaches cannot attack back. So a lot of sentries going down, a lot of gas. Here comes the 3rd and the 4th gas guys. So Huk is making an extremely gas intensive build. I wonder what he's going to do with all of his minerals that he gets built up after making all of these sentries, but it looks like he did build the expansion with the extra minerals, which is, you know, obviously very good, and he's able to take more gas. So here the Scouting Overlord does come in to see the Forge being dropped down and hallucination being researched. So Huk is going to do his scouting with the Phoenixes from the hallucinations, and Moonglade did catch that, so at least he saw the Chrono Boost on the Cybernetics Core after Warp Gate was done, so that's pretty much what's going to be there. He's got a couple of cannons coming up on the high ground. Now these cannons are in an excellent position because there's no way to see them even once you get up this first ramp. You still can't see the cannons, and the cannons can actually attack all the way down to here. So nice placement. We do have a 3rd base going up by Moonglade, which is very good. Nice, good timing on the 3rd base. He knows he needs to catch up economically, or be ahead economically in order to be even as a Zerg player against the Protoss. It's just how the game works. You've got to be ahead as a Zerg to, you've got to be ahead on bases because of the mobility lets you able to keep all the bases. You can keep all the bases with all of the mobility, but your units are not necessarily as effective, especially in larger numbers, as the Protoss army is. So being able to take more bases and keep them held with things like Roaches with 3 speed and 4 speed on creep, and Speedlings that have like a 6 speed when they're on creep and 5 when they're off, so they have an amazing speed. We do have an amazing creep highway going down by Moonglade, so all of these creep units right here, very nice. We do have Hydralisks and Roaches coming in. Now these will not be able to fend off the entire Protoss army probably, but it looks like neither one really wants to commit to an engagement. So for right now, Huk's just going to let him take the 3rd base. 100 Chrono Boost on most of his Nexuses. He really has a lot of Chrono Boost saved up. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but he has, you know, a good 7 Chrono Boost saved up. He could be using those on the Forge especially, and on the Observer, because I'm sure he wants to get an Immortal out after seeing all of those Roaches. So he is taking down the Destructible Rocks. Good idea taking the 3rd right here. That'll make it so that he can do an aggressive push up through here where there are no Spine Crawlers whatsoever to defend. As you can see, the Spine Crawlers have actually, where did they go? My goodness, I don't know. The Spine Crawlers, there they are. They're all the way up here. So he's making a front right here to just cut off the middle of the map with the Spine Crawlers. Nice play because they have the 2 rocks right there. But the Nexus does go down to the 3rd base by Huk. They did have a little bit of lag, but it looks like it got taken care of. So no problems there. No problems at all. We got the 3rd base going down by Huk. And it looks like Moonglade's 3rd base is getting saturated. He is at 135 food. Let's see the army size, 135 to 108. So he does have a decent lead as far as the food-wise goes. We do have 2 Colossi being built and the extended thermal lance. So that means we do have a 2nd robotics facility somewhere there down here. So we've got 2 robotics facilities. I like spacing out of the robotics facilities because something like a Immunoharass could take out both of them, but if they're far apart with cannons in between, it's a little bit more difficult. So just spreading out your tech structures is a good idea in that you lose everything at once. We do have a 4th base going down by Moonglade. Again, good timing on the 4th base because Huk is taking his 3rd as Moonglade's taking his 4th, which is good timing because it keeps you safe, and he'll be able to fend this off. And it looks like Moonglade does see this back wall is taken down, so he's putting all of his army up here. The 2 Colossi, the extended thermal lance is not quite done. He'll wait for that in order to push out, but for right now we're probably just going to see a standoff for the next 20 seconds unless Moonglade does make a push into here, which he doesn't know about the extended thermal lance. If he did, it would be wise of him to push in, but the sentries, again, they all have pretty much full energy, so he has essentially unlimited number of force fields and guardian shields he can lay down. A couple of changelings going in just to see. Oh, he may have noticed that they do not have the range, but now he notices the range, so the Hydralisks are going to come in, snipe at the spawning pool, probably end up taking it down, actually, because there's really not anything that Moonglade can do about this. He has 6 Corruptors coming out, but they are not out yet, so Huk doing a good job of poking in, not taking any hull damage on any of the units, so they'll be able to regenerate all of their shields without a problem, really. And as you can see, it's a pretty rapid regeneration rate. Here come a few Corruptors. The spawning pool does go down, so that limits any form of Queen, Zergling, or Spinecrawler production for the time being. There he goes. Moonglade is rebuilding that. Where is he rebuilding it? Right up here. So he is rebuilding that in his main. And it looks like Huk is going to pull back after that nice little snipe on the spawning pool. He did not do any other damage, really. But we've got a lot of Hydralisks here and Corruptors, which is good. A good mix of Roaches and Hydralisks. So a lot of people tend to favor more Roaches, but I prefer having more Hydralisks because the goal is to have the Roaches take the damage, and by the time the Roaches die, the Hydralisks have already done all the damage and pretty much taken out a majority of the enemy. So we do see Moonglade actually doing a counterattack. We've got the army side, we've got 188 to 176, 200, so they're pretty even on food. Moonglade's getting funneled up here, nice force field, taking out 3 Hydralisks and a Roach, so the Colossi are going to poke in here and take out a few Hydralisks, a couple of Hydralisks. Yeah, so here they come into the base, and force fields are being laid down. The Colossi will be able to do an insane amount of damage. The Corruptors are coming up, trying to take out the Colossi. Now, see what's happening is the Corruptors are taking out the Colossi, but the Protoss player doesn't worry about the Corruptors until the ground army's dead, because the Colossi are there just to do as much damage as they can until they die. Colossi are almost dead. There goes the last one. So, as you can see, there's not much of an army left for Moonglade, and these Corruptors are just flying right now, not really doing much of anything. So, they're just chilling, hanging out, having a good time. Alright, we've got more Roaches. Air attacks level 1 going down, so we do have the Corruptors are going to get their air attacks, which is an interesting way, but it's looking out so far.